Hello, Arlo participants. I just wanted to make a quick video to kind of show you a little bit about how OE Global Connect works. I know it can be kind of a confusing tool, but I hope that you'll be patient and bear with us as we're using this for our discussions for the leadership program. So once you've gotten into OE Global Connect, you should probably see that you can find your way to the community space for Arlo, the Regional Leaders of Open Education Network. And if you haven't, if you end up in the main OEG Global Connect website, you should be able to scroll through all of these other forums that are other discussions that are going on in OEG Connect and find your way to our logo. You can see that this is a closed group, so only those of you that have been invited are in here. And then you can connect on that, and that will, or click on that rather, and that will take you to the community space here for our group. Once you're here, you should see that there's an organizer space that's only for 15 of us that are actually organizing the group, and the rest of you that are participants in the program will see all of the other threads. You'll notice that I've pinned about 4 different threads at the top here, and I may change which ones are pinned depending on which ones we're talking in at the time. Most of you, or almost all of you now, have posted to the Hello Team Arlo, and that's been a very active thread. You can see there's been like 96 comments that have been made on that thread. The other ones that are brand new, including this technical issues or questions thread, you may want to be getting in there and posting a question if you have a question. We're going to be putting announcements in here. About this Arlo space, if you're interested in seeing everybody that's signed up in the OEG Connect space, you can click over and find the members of the group here, and you'll see that there's 51 people in here, and you can go back to our community discussion space right here. So again, that was just from this About This Arlo space. So whenever you're in a thread, and let me click over to Hello Team Arlo because that's the one that you've been in, and this takes you to the bottom of what was most recently posted here. And one of the things that you can see is that people can make replies to a previous comment, or you can reply to the original thread itself. If you want to go to the top, you can click on Hello Team Arlo, and that takes you to the very top, which is when I posted this first comment here, like asking you to all introduce yourselves, and then people hit reply to that. But as you'll see, other folks were posting pictures and comments, and that one of the things that if someone else replied here, like you can see a reply to Christina Trunnell's post by Kim. And so when you're in here, you'll be able to tell what's a reply to an immediate post versus a reply to the original thread. And for example, here Wade posted this beautiful picture from Hawaii where he lives. And there are 4 replies, probably because this picture was so pretty. And then he replied as well. So you can see this whole little inner discussion to that post. So this may be the post that has, the most comments in it right now, but hopefully we'll be getting a lot of discussion going in our other threads. So to get back to our main group, once you're in one of the threads, and this is where it gets a little tricky, you see this tiny little Arlo with a little lock sign next to it underneath Hello Team Arlo? See that? That's what you're going to click on to go back to the main community space. I know it's small, it's a little weird. This platform has some advantages and some disadvantages, and that I think is kind of one of them. It's a little bit hard to see where you are. So let's say we've gotten up to learning area 2. You click on that. No one's replied to these questions yet, but once you do, you can reply to the thread here, or once someone's made a post, you can hit a reply to what they said. However you do it, it's all okay. I think we'll just be able to have some rich conversation based on our discussion questions for each of the different learning areas. And again, you go back to this tiny little lock sign Arlo, and that takes you back to the main community space. Again, you'll see that we will have a discussion thread for every one of the 7 learning areas. And hopefully by the time we get through the first couple, you'll be really skilled at this. The other thing that you can do is find your profile. And over in the top right-hand corner, you can see my little profile picture. It's not huge. If you click on your picture, there's a few things that you can see here. If you click on the tiny little icon of a person here, you can go to your preferences. Here you can go to preferences as down the bottom, and then you can do things like add a picture. You can edit things like adding your flair or putting in other information about yourself. There's your summary, there's your activity. So remembering to go over and clicking on your profile picture, clicking on the little person icon and looking for those pieces can help you create some other settings. The other thing you can do is you can create bookmarks. You can see I've got 4 things bookmarked over here. Actually, I bookmarked these 3. The robot for the site bookmarked Connect bot for me, maybe for you as well. And one of the things that reminds me is that when you're in a discussion thread, let's say you're in Learning Area 1 about technical questions. One of the things you want to do is that in order to get an email notification of the discussion, you want to set it as watching. You hit that little caret. You can put normal, and you may get notified only if somebody mentions you, which may not happen very often, and tracking may not be all that helpful either. But if you really want to get an email notification every time somebody posts something, then you can put it as watching. If you feel like you're getting way too many email notifications, you can turn that off. You can pin topics for yourself. Again, I've pinned some topics for all of us to kind of connote where we're having our discussion right now. So remember to kind of hit watching on any of the threads that you want to get an email notification for, because otherwise you'll have to remember to come back to the thread itself on a regular basis to see, oh, I wonder if anybody posted here. But I find the email notifications kind of helpful. So I think that's about it for the highlights. There definitely are some help spaces in here. There's the OEG Connect guide. Again, I clicked on these 3 little lines and you get all the way down to the bottom, and there's more information and guides about how OEG Connect works. But hopefully this video gives you the highlights, and I will be seeing all of you soon. Thanks.